Nera. I will allow them to introduce themselves at that opportune time when they are coming in. We also have a colleague from Uganda Electricity Regulatory Authority. I have just a few issues. The other issues shall come from you, my brothers and sisters from the press. Then I will give you feedback. Otherwise, in our Monday briefing today, I would like to begin with this story. On the 6th July 2025, you recall we registered a murder of Mr. Mutaga David and his wife, Deborah Florence Mutaga in Nigeria. Security agencies, police, intelligence, and all other security stakeholders have been working round the clock to put together pieces of evidence to ensure that we arrest the culprit. Today, we felt it necessary to share with the public a recording of the suspect's voice. And we urge anybody who recognizes this voice to come out and help identify the individual. We know that through a community initiative, we can easily zero on this suspect. So I would request my ICT team to come over, or I do it myself. Okay. Can you play it again? You can pause it somewhere, almost towards the end. There's something just small I want to communicate. That's towards the end. Can you go to there? Yes. One, we have put an emergency line, and that emergency line is one which whoever has vital information which can lead to the arrest of that suspect can call it. It is 0769 675 918. We know that there are several people who probably, when they listen to that voice, they can easily tell the person he was. The other thing we are going to do, of course, we shall put it on our media platforms so that it's even more, can I call it audible? Yes, and clear. Now, the other thing is the award or the reward. 50 million shillings cash. The moment you lead us to the suspect or you deliver him, 50 million cash. Even journalists, you can join in the heart. Everyone is called upon to make sure that we have this suspect in our hands. I thank you. I thank you very much. So that is the first issue. But otherwise, I would like to inform you that everything is being done by all security agencies to ensure that that suspect is brought to book. The second issue is the issue of the murder of the NGO staff in Mukono. This matter has been on. You will recall that on 9th June, one Mr. Wayengera Geoffrey, an employee of Compassion International Uganda, an NGO, was intercepted along with Christine Najabi while traveling from Mbale to Kampala. The two were attacked by a group of persons who were dressed in military camouflage attire. Godfrey was murdered and his body was dumped in Namulira village in Mukono. So a joint investigation by police and sister agencies have made a significant progress. So far, we have 5 suspects who have been arrested during these operations, and we have recovered semi-automatic rifle along with military and police uniforms. The suspects are Tumusime Asharaf, who most known as Obadia, residing in Chireka, and he was arrested at Kusatu, Kayunga Road, that is Mukono district. We also have in our custody Senteza Mike from Wakiso, who was arrested at Busawuli Ward in Wakiso district. In our custody, we also have Kasolo Fahad, a resident of Naguru, and also Chireka. This one was arrested on Kamuli Road in Chireka. Then we have Sergeant Mwesige Mohammed, commonly known as Jetli. Then others also call him Munama Kerere. This is an Amedizata resident in Kagugube. That one was arrested in one again. There is also an Ame Kopolo, Mugabe Boban Aspa, a resident also of Kagugube, who was also arrested in one again. Preliminary findings indicate that the suspects belong to a criminal gang that has been targeting traders and travelers along Katosi Road in Mukono. As Uganda Police Force and on behalf of other security agencies, we give you our assurances that we are working tirelessly to ensure that this matter is brought to its logical conclusion, and we shall continue to pursue any individual whom we suspect to be in connection with this heinous offense, and they will be brought to book. Thank you very much. Those are just the 2 items I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to give to Uganda first. You have a question? Mbalamusiza mwenna abanamawulire mwebale kujja ku police headquarters. Namusiza n'abo bonna abali eyo abatuwuliriza n'okwanjula minywanyi gyange abali wano okuva mu bitongole ebirala ebya gavumenti. Tulina bantu bagenda kuwuliriza eddoboozi lino lyetugenda okuteeka ku mitimbagano ejjaffe ejja police, era tujja giwa n'abanamawulire, naye ate ne ku TVs n'awalala mujja kuba mubiraba. Kati nga ettemu lino tubadde tutaddewo ekirabo ekya millions 50. Omuntu yenna anayamba mu kukwata omuntu ono. Tumanyi nti eddoboozi eryo bwe muliwulira waliwo abantu abamu nga bwaliwulira ategeera nti ono omuntu. Oyinza okusanga ng'abeera mu bitundu ebyo oba anyway sijja kwetumiikiriza mu kuwa links ezo. Leka tuleke abantu bawulirize bawe okuwabula kwabwe. Otherwise tuwadde n'ennamba eya 0769 675 918 era erine ku gundi okwo ku lutimbe, ng'ennamba eyo bw'ogikuba abantu bennyini abali mu musango ogwo gwennyini bajja kuba bagikwata ate bajja kwanukula immediately. Mbadde nsaba aba ICT zanye ka video ako. Ndoza ka video keeko naye tujja aka audio ndoza mukawulidde naye tujja kuba tukasharinga ne ku mitimbagano. Issue endala ey'okubiri ye abantu abatemula Mr. Wayengera Geoffrey ono nga mukozi w'ekitongole kya Compassion International Uganda, eyali n'omukyala Christine Najjabi, nga omubiri gwa Geoffrey oba his remains bazisuula ku ekifo kye bayita Namulira village mu Mukono. Kati wano poliisi ng'ekolegana wamu n'ebitongole ebirala ku maddembe basobodde okukwata abantu 5 era nga tubayina n'emmundu emu eya semi automatic rifle, ng'era bano balina twabasanga ne uniforms za poliisi oba ezefaananyiza eza poliisi n'ez'amagye. Bano nga wamanga ye Tumusiime Ashraf, abasinga we bayita Obadia, nga mutuuze wa Kireka, ng'ono twamukwatira kusatu ku Kayunga Road e Mukono. Then waliwo ne Sente za Mike okuva e Wakiso, ng'ono twamukwatira Busawuli ward mu Wakiso district. Then waliwo n'omulala we twakutte we bayita Kasolo Fahad, ng'ono mutuuze wa Nabweru. Olumu bagamba abeera Nabweru, olumu abeera Kireka, naye nga twamukwatira ku Kamuli Road e Kireka. Then waliwo Sergeant eyadduka mu magye we bayita Sergeant Muhammad, nga abasinga bamuyita Jet Li, oluusi nga bamuyita Munamakerere. Ono nga mutuuze wa Kagugube era nga twamukwatira Wandikira. Waliwo ne Kopolo ow'Amajeera naye ng'ono akyasavinga we bayita Kopolo Mugabe Boban Aspa, ng'ono naye mutuuze wa Kagugube era nga twamukwatira Wandikira. Okunoonyereza kukyagenda mu maaso, naye nga omuntu yenna anaaba mabega w'ekikolwa kino ng'akyali eyo, tulina essuubi ddene nti tujja kumukwata. Era poliisi n'ebitongole ebirala bikuumaddembe byagala okubawa obukakafu nti bajja kukola buli kimu ekisoboka. Mwebale ddala. Okay? It's okay. Oh, he wants to know, my brother is asking to know the source of the footage. We have a footage. The details of where we got it from will be purely a submission in courts of law. That is admissible information when that opportunity will arrive. But you know that, and trust us that that's the footage we have in respect to the suspected man. Bada abuuza nti footage ya CCTV ya simu kadi yakine mugamba nti eyo details ezo tujja zoogerera eri bwe tunaaba tuwa obujulizi mu kooti bwe batufunye omukisa omwami oyo bwe mulaba mu katangi ne tumufuna. Yes.
Ekisooka endoboozi yokka gye mwakafunako temu ebyo oba wali abantu ekyokubiri waliwo munnabyabufuzi bwe bakwatidde n'abuzibwa bafamire beebuuza omuntu oyo abairaaniamu
nga bamuyita
okula ekibiina kya
Lujja. Okay. So my brother has asked 2 questions. The first is whether we have made any other additional arrests and also whether we have any additional voice recording other than that. If we had any additional voice, we would play it. But that is precisely what we, in our preliminary investigations, we have found necessary to share with the public so that we get public feedback and participation in the apprehension of the suspect. He has also asked about another suspect. A person. He says that there is a person. I saw something on social media about one Luja, if I'm not mistaken, that could be the name, that he is a politician and associated with the Federal Alliance, something like that, if I'm to be accurate. When I saw it, I think I took the honor to and the task to verify that allegation, because we come across a lot of information on social media space. And the police at the airport, because the allegation is that he was arrested at the airport. The police at the airport, first and foremost, does not have any suspect of his kind. 2, he is not on the police's wanted list. At least at the airport, we did not arrest anybody called Bija. Our cells do not have anybody of that kind. So I think something else must be followed up and see what exactly happened. Either he could have, maybe some other reasons could have caused his arrest, and probably from somewhere else. Maybe bail. So, but at least as police, we do not have anybody of that kind. And if we get any information, then we shall share it. Yes. Let me give the Uganda. Abuziza nti ku kesi ya mwami Kutaga omugenzi waliyo arrests zonna ze mwakakola. Arrests so far mujjukira waliwo abantu be twali tuteebereza mu maaso awo, naye okunoonyeza kwaffe kukyagenda mu maaso, kubanga kati kalengere tuli kuzanya vidiyo eno okubalagira ddala omutemu yennyini bwe tuteebereza. Bali abantu be twakwata mu maaso, nga bwe mumanyi nti mu kunoonyereza kwaffe tunoonyereza ku bantu ababa bayina akakwate n'omugenzi ne ku bintu ebimu bye tuba tuwulidde ebisobola somehow okututwala ku kye twaliise kikyennyini ekisobola okuba nga kyekyavaako okufa kw'omugenzi. Naye usually bwe tusanga nga toyina akakwate konna, era usually tukulekula. And ndowooza abantu abo balina okuba kati baabateeka ku board. naye nga omuntu wetunoonya yoyo wetubalaze mu katambi nga prime suspect. Then n'abuuza ku omwami omu we bagamba mu nabyabufuzi mu bya Federal Alliance nti bamukwatidde ku kisaawe. Bwe nagezaako okubuuza poliisi yaffe ey'oku kisaawe bagambye tebalina muntu wa linnya eyo eyakakwatibwa poliisi yaffe ey'oku kisaawe.
Afananiziriza kigogo waliwo kibiina eky'abannamawulire ekyawuja nakolera ekyafunza statement waliwo bannamawulire babiri abakwatiddwa okuli Eric Yiga wa Salt Media ne Ivan Chimo wa DRL ababakutte beebiseera basirika bakuba mu kakiiko kabanyiza obutuuzi bali mu CPS oba teriyo kisukakaawo kiriwo bino olina kyobimanyiiko oba abasirikale balina nebikwata kumbamanyiiko magezi kigowa famire eno omusajja gwenani magezi kigowa famire eno oluganda bana babulirwako omuntu
amagezi egembawa one bakwatire wamu naffe bwabanga kituufu kyo nti omwami oyo kituufu nti akutale bamukwata because tetulina bukakafu. Ennaku zino abanabyabufuzi kyangu nnyo okubula, especially engeri gye tuli mu kalundu kano, naye sometimes osoyinza okusanga kituufu, naye kyensaba tukwataganire wamu nga poliisi baregisteringa omusango ogwa disappearance okunoonyerezebwa kugende maaso okunoonyereza. Issue omukulu gyaleese ey'aba journalists bebakutte. Mumanyi nti State House Anti-Corruption, bagambye State House Anti-Corruption yabakutte. Bwe bayabakutte then erina okuba erina ensonga kyeyabakwasizza. Maybe kye nali badde nsaba ye ekitongole kyammwe ekya ba journalists okutuukirira ekitongole kya State House Anti-Corruption okutegeera ensonga kyeyabakwasizza nga gibanyonyola, because kyo kyemanyi nti ekitongole kyo kirina right ey'okukwata abantu ate si buli busozi kizze kikwata abantu bwe baba babateebereza mu misango egimu n'emirala. Just maybe to put the English version, he has mentioned about the arrest of some suspects who are currently at CPS arrested by State House Anti-Corruption Unit. If State House Anti-Corruption Unit finds color and cause for arresting you, they will arrest you. And they have not done it once. So State House Anti-Corruption Unit arresting you would not be news. The issue would be why they have arrested you. And secondly, as a journalist, you have a journalist body. The address of State House Anti-Corruption Unit is known. You can reach them, approach them, then you share notes on the cause of arrest and also the next course of action or course of action. Sorry.
And do you have any additional information on the recent concluded NRM primary?
Okay. He's asking about any additional information about the NRM primaries. First and foremost, the most critical details I gave them on the night after the conclusion of the elections. But of course, a number of activities have been going on. And I guess the NRM party has been keeping you abreast with other details about the elections. But from the perspective and side of police, the last time I met media, I told you that earlier we had made some arrests because there were some activities which warranted security to take some action, much as to some good extent we managed to deliver the security agenda. There were some few anomalies here and there which attracted the police, leading to arrests. We previously had arrested 90. Currently, as I speak, we have around 180 suspects so far we have arrested in respect to various offenses that were associated with this election period. Maybe also what I would like to notify you of is that we also will be interesting ourselves where NRM comes in as a party and provides us with the suspects in respect to election malpractice. There were allegations which were made against some individuals who engaged in a number of malpractices. We shall not hesitate to have them investigated and prosecuted. Yes. Nkulu omukwano gwaffe abuuziza ku updates ku kalulu ka NRM. Akalulu nali nabawa briefing ku Lwokuna nembagamba nti security twagezaako kyonna ekisoboka okulaba nti tukakuuma era twaregisteringa very high level of success. Mukuume ddembe okwo mwalimu obumulumulu wano na wali era waliwo abagezaako okutyoboola oba okumenya amateeka agaali gakwatagana n'okulonda okwo oba n'ebiragiro ebyali biteereddwawo. Nga luli bwe naba briefing nga twali twakakwatayo 9 naye we twogerera twakakwatayo abantu 108 abakayita mu mikono gyaffe oba kye twaliise arrests. Ng'ate maybe ekyenjagala okwongerezaako is that nga tukolegana wamu n'ekitongole oba ekibiina ekya NRM mulimu obumulumulu ku bantu abayenyigira mu election malpractice nga era okunoonyereza tujja kukola nyinza n'okugamba awamu tutandise ng'era abo bonna abenyigira mu kubba mu kukola effujjo n'okutampalinga n'ebintu ebyali bikwatagana n'okulonda nti etteeka litakubakwatako. Ekyo mugende nga mukimanyi. Mwebale nnyo mu
Waliwo akatambi nga waliwo director omu yawummula abamukuba na director bawummula bafuna bukuumi era y'ensonga ebikwata buganga polisi.
Okay, ndowooza eyakatambi ako nange nakalaba aka director waffe eyawummula naye ndowooza ekifaananyi tuleke kirabira mu kifaananyi kya director, tukirabire mu kifaananyi kya candidate because mu kadakiika ako oba candidate ekisobola okutuukako kisobola n'okutuuka ne candidate omulala naye ate ekyaliwo ate nakyo tetukikondeninga, tetukiwagira, tetusuubira kulaba kavuyo konna ne bwabako oba director yawummula oba ani. Si kirungi, si kifaananyi kirungi eri politics w'eggwanga. Kyemanyi nti okunoonyereza already kwatandise okutegeera ki kyennyini ekyagwawo wakati wa former director n'abakuuma ddembe abaaliwo okutuuka ku situation eyo gye mwalaba. Omukuumi yalina obukuumi era yalina omusirikale amukuuma naye waliwo oluusi wabeerawo breakdown eya order nituba ne disorderly situation nga n'omukuumi w'olina olusi kwa dakiika akabayinza obutakola ki. So naye nga ensonga eri nti tukoze tutya okulaba nti tuteekawo elections ennungi ezitaliimu mufiiro ng'ekyo gye mwalaba ojja directory naye ng'okunoonyereza kugenda maaso. Maybe just to give the English version, he has mentioned about a certain video which went viral about an retired police officer who is seen in a video a situation or an encounter with the security officers which depicted the bad of a retired senior citizen. First and foremost, one of the things we need to understand, we should not even look at it just because he's a retired senior officer and a senior citizen. No. We should look at the picture holistically. Even if he wasn't a retired and senior citizen, nobody should be treated or should encounter that kind of episode. Nobody. So that we don't limit it to only persons of specific privilege. We want a peaceful election, and every time we have incidents which score below the expectations of civility, we must always come out to condemn those kind of acts. We must go back to the drawing table or to the drawing board, go back to the table, and we'll see how to address those kind of anomalies. And I know those are usually our learning lessons as both those people who organize the elections, we who secure them, those are our learning points. But what I know is that matter is under investigation, and we shall get to the depth of what exactly happened, who went wrong, and where. Yes, thank you. Is that all? Thank you very much. Allow me, who should come? Since we are, let him come first, because his matter is connected with our operations. Naguru, may you please come over and take this seat. But you need these gadgets. We are talking gadgets. So our brother from the media, may you please be patient. I offload myself for certain communication gadgets, which we shall give to him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the media. My name is Ibrahim Kasita, and I work with Electricity Regulatory Authority in the Department of Corporate Planning and Consumer Affairs. I'm here basically to tell you what had transpired over the weekend, and this is about electricity theft and public incitement to electricity theft. But before I start, allow us to play the IC team, play this video here so that you can have the context. Let's play the video here.
Abayuddiyero sikero bitikyo berawune berawuna masanyalaze mwajireka amasanyalaze gaffe olw'okuba tugabba emutwalaki solido mwagitutene bweragenda olukodero lwakozesa ogabba go tukyamulina obunaatulebera tugenda kukola baagabbiira gajjasigala gakolaki gabasala tutwala omukisa guno okubategeeza nti solido gye mwatute tubade tulina gye twakolera gye tasoma kuddayo tugenda kugenda kizaako ogulogabba buli kyotubadde tubayitiraga kyakalina nga temuddamu twatandise okugabba emudda tulina solido gyetwali twaddeyo ekirina tugenda giteekayo tuddemu tugabbi bwe munaddamu akubaka gwokubiri ateekayo agabbi. Thank you, I love you.
So, colleagues, you have heard of yourself. This is electricity theft, an incitement of electricity theft. But let me be clear from the start. Electricity theft is a crime. There is no justification of electricity theft. When someone steals electricity, treat it as if someone is stealing your money from your pocket. Because at the end of the day, you as a consumer, you will have to pay. Therefore, there is no justification for you to support such activities. Therefore, electricity is a crime, and therefore, that's why we are here. On 16th July 2025, we received information concerning a TikToker who posted himself on social media while inciting members of the public to continue stealing electricity, even when Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited was disconnecting illegal power connections. Illegal power connections. In the TikTok video that you have seen, which was posted on 12th June 2025, featured a male individual who openly bragged about illicitly reconnecting electricity using previous disconnected supply wires, termed as solido, and incited members of the public to engage in similar illegal activities whenever disconnection occurred. The individual identified as Kasule Saithin Brighton, male adult, age 27 years, a businessman and a resident of Busega, encouraged tampering with electricity infrastructure in defiance of enforcement measures to protect the infrastructure. That infrastructure is your infrastructure, is the infrastructure of the public. No one owns that infrastructure apart from you, the public. Therefore, any individual tampering that infrastructure is tampering with our lives. Therefore, the Uganda Police Force, the Electricity Regulatory Authority, and Uganda Electricity Distribution Company unauthorized reconnection and tampering of meters and supply wires or solido is an offense under Section 88 of the Electricity Act, and on conviction may be liable to 12 years imprisonment. I mentioned that electricity theft is a criminal offense, and therefore the Electricity Act, Section 88, if you have been arrested and successfully prosecuted, you will be convicted or liable to 12 years imprisonment. Theft of electricity via illegal connection is an offense under Section 90 of the Electricity Act, liable to 10 years imprisonment. In addition, the customer will have to pay up to 20 times the cost of the stolen, estimated cost of the stolen electricity. So what do we mean here? If you have been convicted, you are liable not only to 12 years imprisonment, but court also may decide you to pay 20 times of the cost of what you have tampered with. Therefore, this is an activity that everyone should desist from doing. working on electrical installation without an installation permit issued by the Installations Permit Committee of the Electricity Regulatory Authority is an offense, and the culprit may be liable to 2 years imprisonment. The so-called CAMUFUs. If you find anyone who is tampering with this electrical infrastructure without any installation permit, this person also liable and will be convicted. Minimum 2 years imprisonment. Therefore, let's avoid tampering with electricity infrastructure. This conduct is not only an offense, but exposes citizens to electrocution hazards, compromises reliability service delivery, and results in a substantial losses across the electricity sector value chain. The losses are paid for by the customer, by you, the consumers. Therefore, we commend the Uganda Police Force, thank you so much, for swiftly apprehending the suspects, who is now in custody and assisting with further investigations. This work is still under interrogation, and we expect that the police, after doing their work, we shall parade this culprit to court. Therefore, it's an ongoing work. ERA will continue working collaboratively with the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited and law enforcement agencies to ensure that offenders are prosecuted and that the integrity of Uganda electricity supply infrastructure is upheld. I want also to take this opportunity to thank the media. You have really been our partner in trying to raise awareness about this problem. We have two things: electricity vandalism, vandalizing the electric infrastructure, but also illegal connections, like what this guy is bragging about. You going there and connecting to yourself without authorization, that is an offense which everyone should try to avoid. I commend the media for the great work, because in the last 3 weeks, you have been doing a good job sensitizing our people by ensuring that they are aware about the problem of illegal connection and vandalism. Thank you very much for your attention. Mwebale nnyo baganda bange bannamawulire, mwebale kujja. Olwaleero nze wano nze kwogera ku bubbi bw'amasannyalaze obaddewo mu ggwanga. Naye nga bwe nasoose kasooke mbalaga katambi ako mu kalabe. ICT. Thank you. I love you. Ngaba mulaba katambi ako nzize wano bali okwogera ku bubbi bw'amasannyalaze. Nga 16 omwezi gw'omusanvu 2025 twafuna amawulire nti waliyo omu ku bannayuganda yayita ku mukutu gwa TikTok nga yeewaana nga bwasooka babba amasannyalaze, era baamusalako naye era akozesa obukugu bwe okubeera nga abba amasannyalaze. Bwe twafunaga amawulire twakolagana wamu n'ekitongole kya Uganda Police Force n'ekitongole ekibunyisa amasannyalaze ekya Uganda Electricity Distribution Company n'ebitongole byonna ebyawamu ebikola ebiri mu masannyalaze oba ebisupplying amasannyalaze, ne bakola ku mukwekweto ekikwekweto ne bakwata ono mwami ayitibwa Kasule Saithin Brighton, yakwatibwa era wa myaka 27 era nga abeera Busega. Ono mwami ng'ojjako okwewaana yali awagira n'abantu abalala babeere nga nabo bagenda mu kikolo ekyo ekyokubeera nga babba amasanyalaze. Naye njagala kubategeeza bannayuganda abankuliriza era bandaba nti obubbi bw'amasanyalaze musango gwa lunagomola era musango gwa maanyi, era singa bakukwata oba singa omusango gukuka mu vvi osobola kubeera nga osibibwa emyaka 12 era n'oddamu n'osasula engasi mirundi 2 ku ebyo bye bakoze eki bye babbye. So n'olwekyo bannayuganda njagala kubeera nga mbategeeza nti obubbi bw'amasanyalaze si kintu kirungi, era n'oyo omuntu yenna ageza kubeera ng'alinya ebikondo by'amasanyalaze bw'aba nga talina certificate emukkirizisa okuba ng'alinya ekikondo kino, oyo omuntu mumukwate era naye bajja kumukwata bamutwale mu mbuga z'amateeka era avunaanyizibwe, era ogwo omusango bagumusse mu vvi era ajja kusibibwa myaka 2. So n'olwekyo okubba amasanyalaze oba n'okutampalinga infrastructure kintu si kirungi, okutigaatiga infrastructure kintu musango gwa nnagomola, kubanga buli woogezako kubeera ng'otigatiga obulamu bw'Abannayuganda nabwakozesa oba bussa mu matiga, amasanyalaze gayinza kubakuba ne bafa oba tebafudde, ebintu byabwe ne byokyebwa omuliro. Tetwagala kuwulira nti abantu bafiridde ebintu byabwe oba ebintu byatokomose kubanga gundi yali nnyo omuti era n'agenda natigatiga ku masanyalaze, kintu si kirungi. Ekyokubiri, eggwanga essente ezandibadde zigenda okuzimba infrastructure, kati sente ezo tugenda kuddamu kugula nga tuzzaawo ebyo ono omubbi byakoze eki byatutte. So n'olwekyo tusaba bannayuganda mwenna mubeere nga mulaba, mubeere nga tulwanyisa kino ekintu, era kyenva tuba twebaza Uganda Police n'ebitongole ebikuumaddembe okulaba nti tusobodde kubeera nga bano abantu ono omusajja ono omwami tumukutte, naye ne banne be bakolagana nabo tujja kubakwata era tubateeke mu mbuga z'amateeka, kubanga obubbi bw'amasanyalaze musango gwa nnagomola era kintu kibi nnyo. N'olwekyo nsaba mwenna bannamawulire ne bannayuganda tukwasaganye awamu tulabe nti kino ekintu tukirwanyisa, kubanga buli muntu yenna bwageza kubba amasanyalaze eggwanga aba alizza emabega, ate omuntu wa bulijjo yenna badde yeetaaga amasanyalaze aba amasanyalaze tagakola ki tagafuna. N'olwekyo mwenna mbasaba mujje tukwasaganize awamu tulwanyise bulimuze webalimi.
Sita, you just given us that single suspect who again went viral inciting members of the public. I want to know how many suspects have you arrested and since when did you set up operation to crack down illegal prostitutes? Secondly, since UEDCL took over from Rumeli, we are getting, despite the fact that you have funded members of the media to sensitize members of the on your behalf. And when we do it, again, they accuse us that you are not active in picking the funds for helping members of the public in different areas, whereby there's even spending like a week or a month without house. How is that?
Thank you very much, Radio 1, Kahozi, Radio 2. First of all, the operation to curb down power connection has been ongoing. You know, we live in a society whereby people want free things, but they forget that you have to pay for something for you to get it. So vandals and power thieves have been existing, but we have also tried our level best working with security agencies to ensure that these people, we arrest them. And this is why we have gone ahead to amend the electricity law. Initially, the electricity law was a bit lenient with people who were stealing electricity. But now with the new amended law, the law is very strict that now when we successfully arrest you and prosecute these culprits, the law now is very strict and you will have to pay for their consequences there. Therefore, I want to say that we have been working and there are so many suspects, I don't have them off head. And by the way, these people don't come from heaven. They live with us, they stay with us. And we know them, for that is high power rates. Wherever someone steals electricity, just know that it will come and it has an impact onto your electricity power tariffs. 2, it also exposes us to health and safety hazards. Let's make sure that we work together to ensure that we address this problem there and then. He has also asked a question number 2 about our responsiveness. The public is outside there. They want our services, but our responses is a bit late or we delay responding. There is no justification for power theft, irrespective of whether the responses are low. There is no justification. As I said, electricity theft is criminal. There is no justification for that. However, we are working around the clock to ensure that we respond to our consumers' needs. And as you will testify, since Uganda Electricity Distribution Company took over, you have seen that the responses have been improving. Since March, if you compare March when they took over and today, you realize that the services have been improving. So with time, we believe that these services will improve. But again, I want to apologize for if we have not met our expectations initially. kuva emyaka emabega kubanga ababbi b'amasanyalaze babadde we bali era nga we bali. Nkuutira abantu nti mwenna tuli ffenna tulwanyise guno nze, kubanga ababba amasanyalaze tebava mu ggulu, bava mu ffe, mu maka gaffe, baana baffe, banninaffe, bakojja baffe, bonna. So n'olwekyo tukwasiza wamu tujje tulabe nga tulwanyisa guno nze. N'addamu n'abuuza n'agamba nti naye ate ffe ku sayidi yaffe nti abantu abakozesa amasanyalaze oluusi bagala ne bemulugunya nga baagala buweereza bwaffe, naye obuweereza bwaffe si bulungi, ate tulwawo okubeera nga tukola ki, tubaddamu. Ne mugamba nti batusonyiwe ku ekyo, naye tugezezaako nnyo okulaba nti empeereza eyongerako, era singa mugeraageranya kuva we twatandika umeme bwe yavaawo UEDCL bwe yajja nalwaleero, ojja kulaba nti wemu obudde, naye tewali nsonga yonna ekujustifying nti ogenda obba amasanyalaze, kubanga obubbi bw'amasanyalaze musango gwa Nagumula tekukkirizibwa nakatono.
Nkoze obulungi naye nga kyekyandibadde kisooka oba ensonga okuva mu ebyo yagenda amasanyalaze gavaako nnyo, ebintu by'abantu bifa, bizinesi zifa. Ensonga eyo mutunuulidde mu kyokulaba nga at least factories zifiibwako naffe ebintu kubanga buli lunaku kati gavaako tegabeerako ekiro emisana tegavaamu, gabeerako emisana ekiro tegabeerako.
Eyo nsonga era nagisi
ekyokubiri oba ku nsonga y'omwana ekigendererwa ebbanga lyonna ate bakozesebwa nayo mubeera mu misana era ekiro bebaddaga obulungi mulabaasomulimu ekyobugendererwa
ne fyuzi bazibba abamasanyalaze
wabalina balina kubuuza ssebo, buuzizza nti ababbi b'amasanyalaze bano bantu baba balina kubanga balina obukugu era bava amasanyalaze. Naye njagala kubategeeza eggwanga nti ffe tetusobola kubeera nga tuwagira omuntu waffe oba ali mu masanyalaze kubeera nga abba amasanyalaze. Era ffe kitwa tugamba nti buli muntu yenna akwatibwa era ne bw'alaga nti alina ID eraga nti akola amasanyalaze, oyo bamukwate bamutwale mu mbuga z'amateeka, kubanga tosobola kukozesa buyinza bw'olina kubeera nga ate okola ebikolobero, ekyo tekikkirizibwa nakatono. So n'olwekyo tulwanisizza nnyo guno omuze era mu bantu baffe tugezezaako, naye nga bw'omanyi nti oluusi wabeerawo abantu nga bo tebagala kuwuliriza, kyetuba tugamba nti omuntu yenna akwatibwa ne bw'agamba nti akola amasanyalaze naye ng'akwatibwa ng'akola ekikolwa ekyo, akwatibwe avunaanyizibwe era asasule era agende abonerezebwe ng'amateeka gakola ki bwe galagira. So n'olwekyo tetukkirizibwa muntu yenna akola mu masanyalaze kubeera nga yeetaba mu bubbi bw'amasanyalaze. Nazzemu n'addamu n'abuuza nti ebintu byononese kubanga amasaze gabulaabula era tegabeerako. Era ezo ensonga ze zimu ze tuliko ze twogerako era tugezezaako naye okutwaliza wamu tugezeza kulaba nti amasanyalaze gano nti amasaze gatereera era abantu bayota bulungi obumasanyalaze nga balina okubeera. Se ndoza amaze nze Ibrahim Kasiita mwebale nnyo mwebale.
Yes, a very good morning to all of you from the media fraternity. A very good morning to all our countrymen that are watching this security press briefing live. I bring you warm greetings from the National Identification and Registration Authority. It is week 9 of this 6-month exercise, and so we come with the latest updates. As has become synonymous with us, because we are an entity that documents our uniqueness, our heritage, and our different communities, I tend to greet you in our local dialects, and I begin with my own tribe because charity begins at home. So to the Alud people, Ainenedi, to the people from Gulu and all the Lamu sub-regions, Ucho, Mabe, and then Murege Muta, Abari Yasubui, Murizega, Hi, Mwasuze Mutia, Abantu Babene, Sarasajja Kabaka, the people from Arua, Azivichi Minimini, Emingonia, and then in the spirit of East Africa, Abari Zasubui. This morning, I come to speak very quickly about a few updates. The very first one is that, as has become synonymous with the National Identification and Registration Authority, we promise and we are delivering. So on the 21st day of July, which is today, I remember when we were at the media center, I told you that the service of change of particulars will go live. I want to inform you, countrymen, dear citizens and people of Uganda, that this service is available today across all the district offices. I want to be categorically clear that anybody seeking to renew their ID with amends will not do it at the parish. They'll have to make the trip to the nearest district office. I also need to be on record and make it very clear to us, dear countrymen. The only thing that can change about us is our name. The rest of the things that refer to your biodata or what is known about you may have been errors. And so whereas you can come to change your name, whereas your fingerprints might have faded and maybe modified because you used a bit of Carolite, maybe they could have altered, that is agreeable. However, there are things that we are not changing. This is not an exercise for you to now say, I was 20 years, I now feel 15 years, I want to change my age. No. You can only be born once. You cannot be born 2 times. Once born, it is a permanent thing. The only thing that can cause us to change is if you're making a correction of an error. So to say, when writing your date of birth, you interchange the year and month. For example, I was born on 7th August and I wrote 8th, maybe July. So I interchanged the day and month. That is a reasonable error. However, for you to say last year you thought you were 20 years and now suddenly you're 30 years because Heidi has bought for you a tipper and you want a permit that allows you to drive a tipper, please don't come. This is not your service. Ours at NIRA as a mandate is to uphold an integral. Last week, the people from immigration told us how the US was penalizing you who wants to travel. And the reason is one, you're fond of lying. Today you are 20 years, because now your mother is in the US, she wants to take you, she says, go to NIRA and change your age and become 17. Because you're 30 years, you want to take part in a youth tournament of football that is taking young people to Australia, you come back and we are seeing an able-bodied man saying he's 16. And then you ask yourself, but really, how is this even possible? So this business is not a business for you to come and beat your system to change your information. I want to make it clear that the Registration of Persons Act has said uttering false information is a crime. So if you change that and you discover that you did that, you're liable or susceptible to paying a fine, imprisonment, or both. So come well aware, come in honesty, come in truth. The second service that goes live today, ladies and gentlemen, is Get First ID applications. It is true that the Registration of Persons Act has said that children from age from 0 to 16 on application to NIRA get a national identification number, or otherwise called a NIN. So children below 16 get a NIN. They don't get a card. When you turn 16, the same act says that you now go and apply for your first card. At 16 years, you qualify. So every Ugandan that is named that has a NIN, it is your opportunity to stroll into the NIRA office and do your application for the first ID card. So this service is available at every parish across the country. Everybody that has a NIN and has not obtained a card or done that update, it is your moment to walk into NIRA and apply for your first card. This does not mean that if you're 16 and have no NIN, you can't come. No. 16 and you don't have a NIN, follow the required process of obtaining a parent national ID or one of a blood relative and still apply for your first card. These services are available by the pre-registration portal. So those who have good exposure to internet, please leverage the pre-registration and just walk in for the biometric capture. The third issue that I want to bring the country to speak about this morning is a quick update on our school-based registration. We have got very brilliant and good news. The Ministry of Education listened to our plea and is in full support. So if you're a head of school and you are waiting for a blessing from the ministry, we want to comfort you that the ministry is in full support and therefore schools will be registration points. I have been very clear that the reason we went to school is because many Ugandans gave us feedback that they have odd jobs, bizarre jobs that may not allow them to spend a day at parish. So we are saying we can meet your children in the schools on a class-by-class arrangement that allows them to study, but also that allows them to be identified. What is our prayer in this exercise? Ladies and gentlemen, in 2017, we did a school-based registration. Painfully, 10,000 applications had to be cancelled because they could not be processed. The reason was simple. The quality of data was poor. People did not meet the bare minimum requirements of what it takes for you to qualify for a NIN. Our plea and prayer is that as we go back to the schools, that as NIRA comes to you, that you'll meet us halfway the road. That you will come over and meet us with correct, full information. by providing your child with details of your name and your ancestry in terms of origin. But also make the choice now. If your child is Tewo, make the choice if you want them to be Tewo or Teopista. Do not say Tewo today, and then when they sit S6, you say they are now Teopista. So change my information. No way. If you're Budala, be Budala today and die with it. Don't be Budala and become Abdallah tomorrow. They are different names. Meet us halfway, give us full information that is accurate, that is concrete, that is a true reflection of who your child is. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, as a person that is championing this communication campaign, I want this morning to introduce the country to a new movement that as NIRA, we want to roll out. We want to roll out a movement of named Ugandans. Named Ugandans. We want this to become the next hot thing in this country. That it must be so beautiful for you to be Ugandan unapologetically in a way that it hurts. It is okay because this is who we are. We are pals of Africa. We belong to the Pearl of Africa. So from our communication championing, we are saying, beyond registering people, this exercise is an opportunity for you to show off your Ugandanness, that which makes you a Ugandan. Article 10 of the Constitution has been very clear about who a citizen is by birth. It is someone whose parents or grandparents belongs to the 65 tribes. But the same law says that a Ugandan can be by choice. Formerly I was American and I choose to come and work in Uganda and I become by registration. Maybe I have naturalized here, or my grandparents were here before 1920 and so I am white, but I'm still a citizen by birth. So I don't have a tribe, but I'm Ugandan. So what are we going to do? We are calling on every Ugandan from all the corners, from Kisoro to Arua, from Karamoja to Kasese. We are saying one thing. We are getting on a hashtag that says, I am NIND. NIND in the form of NIN-ED. I am NIND. I am Ugandan. So you hashtag I am NIND, you hashtag I am Ugandan. And what do? I'll give you an example. I am Claire. I hail from Kaida. I am Alur. I come from Zombo. My mother is a Musoga from Luka. I'm so Ugandan. I'm so NIND. Show off. What makes you Ugandan? Zenamutegi, Nedira Mamba, Akabiro, show off that which makes you Ugandan. What are we doing? We are sowing patriotism. We are sowing love for country, but we are also teaching our P1 children, our kindergarten children, the way they sing the rhyme of Baba Black Sheep. Can they show off their Ugandanness? Are they named? Do they have a certificate? Does their government know them? So on our socials, we'll share with you a beautiful poem that you can localize to your. If you're Ilk, if you're Mening, if you're Vonomo, did you know those tribes exist? There are Ugandans that are Vonomo. There are Ugandans that are Mening. There are Ugandans that are Ik. So let's share diversity. Let's share our uniqueness so that you know that Uganda is more than Mayalur people. Uganda is more than the Banyarwanda. Uganda is more than the Basoga. There is so much beauty in Uganda, so much heritage. And encourage every cultural player, just fall in. Show us the vibes from Teso. Show us the vibes from Bali, from Bama Savalan. Show us what's happening in Kigezi. Showcase Uganda, be named, be identified, and speak up. And encourage your fellow Muchiga, your fellow Kigezi person to get named and set the record straight. That way, we are not an endangered tribe. That way, we preserve our tribes and our indigenous communities. I thank you. Yes, so I will quickly land this through Uganda, then I'll take your questions. Njagala okwebaza bannamawulire bonna nga bulijjo buno obulungi obutagambika nga mujja nga mutambuza amawulire gano agenda gamuntu. Mbadde nababuuzizzaako dda mu nnimi zammwe ez'enjawulo ze mmanyi obulungi. Olwaleero ensonga ziri 3 oba 4. Ensonga esooka ey'omukundu y'ensonga ey'abo abaagala okuzza obujja endagamuntu nga baagala okukyusaamu. Ensonga ziri 2. Buli muntu yenna akkiriza nti alina endagamuntu ng'ebigiriko si bituufu nga banyira be baasobya. Essaawa mulindwa yeeno. Tugenda kuzza bujja tutereeze ebyo bye twasobya ku bwereere. Ensobi bw'eba yaffe totoola yadde olunusu yadde n'olwataani. Ensonga ey'okubiri tugamba nti obuweereza buno obw'okukyusa obujja oba okukyusa ng'ozza bujja kuba ku disitulikiti yokka. Lwaki ku disitulikiti? Twetaaga okugyayo biri bye watugamba mu ntandikwa ne tugeraageranya ne bino by'oyagala otugamba kati. Kale nno bw'oba obadde ngolooza tuli beebafu ng'ebiwandiiko tebiriiyo gyebiri. Tujja kebera tukakase ate tusinzire ku ebyo bye watugamba tulyoke tumanye oba ensobi yaffe oba si yaffe. Ensonga ey'okubiri, oli waddemu okukyusa erinnya lyo, ekyo kikyuka. Naye abo bonna abaagala okutereeza, ate okutereeza ntegeeza nti ensibuko yo kuba omuntu bwemba nsibuka zombo ate sobola keera nkyalinga nti nzuulama nsibuka kabaale, kisoboka ekyo? Ensibuko ebeemu kitegeeza wasobya busobya nti kati omuzadde yakuwabuddemu n'otereeza. Ekyokubiri, gy'ozaalibwa ekyo tekituuka. Omuntu bwe bakuzaala leero tosobola kukyusa nti ate banzadde jjo kinali wammengo nti ate maama yanzalira bwe yakusindika ebirungi ebiri. Omuntu bakuzaala lumu era bakusindika lumu eri ekifo kiba kimu. Kale tutereeza butereeza. Kale naawe bano batayipu abagamba modulo nti kati mbadde n'emyaka 3 kati njagala 5 kuba oyagala pamiti y'okuvuga bbaasi tosembera tojja. Bino si bya kyeyagaliza nti nkyusanga bwe njagala. Bwe njagalira pamiti ennene ng'olwo ngenda nnyongeza emyaka. Nti kuba kati nina 3 sikyasobola kuzanya mupiira gw'abavubuka nti basaleko 10 ate nsigaze 16 oba oliawo ngenda ebungereza. Temusembera, bajja kubasibirira bwereere. Kuba tukebera ne tunoonyereza ate bwe tuzuula nti olimbye ogobuwa musango ng'osobola okuwa fayini kabe kasinge n'okusiba oba byomubiri. Ensonga ey'okubiri, njagala okutegeeza eggwanga nti abo bonna nga twabawandika nga bakyali bato, kubanga etteeka erifuga ebyokuwandiisa abantu mu ndagamuntu ligamba nti omwana okuva ku mwaka 0 okutuukira ddala ku oyo alina emyaka 15 n'emyezi 11, kitegeeza ng'ali wansi w'emyaka 16 afuna ennamba ya nniini. Ate bw'aweza emyaka 16 etteeka ne tugamba nti anaatuukiriranga ofiisi ya NIRA n'asaba endagamuntu ye esooka. Abo bonna be twawandikanga muli bato mu ssomero nga mwafuna ennamba ya nniini essaawa mulindwa y'eno. Twasuubiza era ddala NIRA nga bwekula etuukiriza, baffe bw'osaba tutuukiriza. Mwasaba kati tutuukiriza. Jangu n'ennamba ye ya nniini awali aba NIRA wonna osabe endagamuntu yo esooka. Abo bonna bw'olina 16 nga tolina nniini naawe jangu nga bw'oli. Ffe tulinga bakereziya nti jangu nga bw'oli. Abakyaki bagamba nti Yesu yaga nti jangu nga bw'oli. Jangu nga bw'oli era naawe bw'oleeta endagamuntu y'omuzadde n'ebbaluwa ya LC naawe tujja kuwandiika ofune. Ensonga y'okusatu, njagala okulambika eggwanga kuba bwe tutuuse n'eddimu lino ery'okuwandiisa abaana mu masomero. Mbatuusaako amawulire amalungi nti minisitule ekwatagana n'ebyokusoma n'ebyenjigiriza mu ggwanga yawagidde eddimu lino ng'ekkiriza olwo tukozese amasomero. Kale bw'oba oli mukulu wa ssomero ng'obadde okyekwatakwata nti ate minisitule yabitegeddeko, njagala okugumya nti minisitule ebimanyi era emanyi bulungi nti n'abaana nabo bannayuganda era beetaaga okuwandiisa. Naye okusaba kwaffe kuli kutya? Mu 2017 twawandiika abaana, naye okusaba okw'abaana 1,000 kwasazibwamu. Lwaki? Timwaba wabyetaagisa ate okusaba kwali tekusobola kukola ki? Kuyita. Kuba bw'osaba endagamuntu kulimu okutambula ng'Omuganda, kulimu okutambula ng'omulamu. Olina okuleetayo obujulizi obutonotono obukulaga nti ddala ddala oli muki? Munnayuganda. Awo ne tusaba tutya ng'abazadde mukkirize abaana bammwe batambule ng'Abannayuganda nga bava mu mawanga nga gabafuula Abannayuganda, nga mubabuulira ensibuko yaabwe, nga mubawa endagamuntu zammwe zibeeyimirire ate nga mubawa n'ebituufu ebibakwatako. Awo nno gwe yeeyita Teewo, salawo kati ng'oleeta omwana wo anaasigala ye Teewo paka lwalifa oba ye Teewo Pista. Nti omwana ye Nuuru agenda fuuka Abdul-Nuur. So abaana mbawandikira amannya mu butuufu bwago na ku kye bwe banaagakozesa mu misomo gyabwe ate twewala emmere y'okutataaganya oba oliawo n'okuteekamu okusaba okw'okutereeza gye kujja mu maaso. Ensonga esembayo ate nga nkulu nnyo ku mutima gwange ng'omuntu akola omulimu guno gw'okubakunga bateekamu ka vibe mwongere okweyagalira kiri ekintu kyaffe. Kino ekyendagamuntu bwemukiraba ng'ekyagavudde nze ndabira ddala kintu kyammwe mulimu ansa mwe muzanyira. Tugenda kutandikawo okukunga abantu nga tuteekawo ekikoosi oba ekigombe eky'abantu abagamba nti I am need. I am need nga need kiva mu kigambo need, National Identification Number, NIN-ED. I am need nga ne hashtag ey'okubiri egamba I am Ugandan. Twagala abantu mwolese obugagga bw'ekyo ekibafuula Abannayuganda. Ndi Namutebe, neddira Mamba, akabbiro kuwo nsibuka Kyaggwe, Mange Muchiga ow'ekabale ndi munnayuganda omutukufu nina endagamuntu bw'olina okapostinga social media otutaginge tulabise abo bonna abalowooza nti ekintu kyaffe kino kifuufufu oba munnayuganda bwe bwaffe kuba endagamuntu obulungi obuli mu kiteyawulo oba oli mulugwala oba oli muddugavu oba oli mweru bino byanjawulamuko ku ground byaffe ffenna bweyagala olw'okuba ekyo kyoli ate uganda ekunyumire ate oyolobise obwagazi bw'eggwanga lyo abateeso mutulageeko kye mulina fe ab'epayida waka tulina nabalagako dda nga bwendi omunnayuganda awono namwe abali wano nyinze mu vidiyo bo taaga salon ntaginga nyira omwami waffe ono okwalinga ate tukola obulungi ajja kuba naye mwali mumutaginga ate tutambuze tulage vibe ate challenge nekwate power ekigendererwa kyekiriwa omwana wanga bw'ayimba oluyimba bwa baba flagship olunokkiriza ayimba oluyimba olumusuuta olumuwaana olumulaga nti munnayuganda abalina rap mu ghetto nga ng'oli wakabikyali waffe tukubiremu rap amanyi okuyimba tulageeko waaka amanyi ebisoko amanyi powemu tukulinze labisa abasugamu eragategeere abakiddi alufwa munyupepearumu abakiga mulinka intwenda kubareeba mutworeke kimbasa kola kandi tukunde Uganda kena sherekea Uganda. Let's love our country. Just show be Ugandan, be unapologetically Ugandan, be named, documented. Tokiriza gwanga lyokubula imbosi yatugambe nini ezimuzabula bano ba nze kati nafuna lulyo obubaka ngabuni nga pastor ngamba nti omwami wange ajja kuva mba nisingalaba y'omudiki ndoza mu TikTok challenge tetugenda okukola omudiki analabika ate obaolyawo neziramu amaanyi ky'omwami wange kyali mwebale nnyo banaye twagala Uganda tutumire ate twewandiise ebibuuzo biri bisatu tubireke bannaye so okomushigala nteganisa okayanshaba busha ensonga nyishatu kandi nza kusiibayo ey'okubanza abantu abakwendagaliza musiendaga mu nzu zanyu obwo murukwenda kuhinduramu mu maziina narukushemeza oba obuheereza kubaasa kutandika eriizooba so oba olina endagamuntu abalira kura abe bashagizemu bapa izina ritari lyo narihiinemu ka mistake oshikire office zanyira twatandika eriizooba enshoni kura abe yakozibwa banira nza kuhindura busha turashashure konka wanyu wari kuhindura enshoni yawe noza kushashura eky'emitwaro 2 niwe turebekwe mu twakora abana bitwahanche bakiyo mu ashomero hagati y'umwaka gwa 0 ka myaka 15 wayikize 16 obwire rwogwe noijana n'inamba yawe oshire office yanyira niwe tukandikise obundi okatunendaga muntu yawe eyokubanza okayisabere rero mu mashomero kuyo kujja no mwisho kongo kushaba kwituno kumwe nishabango bana mubahereze ndangamuntu zanyu kwasa kubeyemerera nishabango mbagambire ekubakwataho kandi obo kushaba kwaho buli kukarabamu kandi kukagendaje ekyamheru tutireho nkempaka nimani mukunda munonga za TikTok za X za challenge nitwenda bakiga kazi mutworeke kikubasa kutworeka n'icyo kikworeka ngo uri umukiga uri umunyankore ati ndi umunyankore none banyetankunda ndi umunyankore musigaba mawe no mukibuga kazi ibisho byoha nonyine nini government nemanya igoshineye kumanya so nitwenda omuntu nkobo rero abana tubegese okutuga abanyarwanda ndebintu kureta twayita abanyarwanda mwe bari munonga kuturikiza kandi tubasima munonga tuyogace. Any questions? Is anything that's not clear? Thank you very much for coming always and bless you.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready.
It is the morning. A good morning to everyone. Want to appreciate you for coming here and appreciate those who are watching from all over the country. And this morning we are here to update you on what happened on our roads across the country for the past 1 week. My name is Superintendent of Police, Kanadura Michael, the Community Liaison Officer, Director of Traffic and Road Safety. And today on the press briefing on the 21st of July 2025, I'm directly updating you on the few crashes that were registered, those that were notable. One person died and 4 others injured in a fatal road crash that occurred in the early hours of Monday, today, July 21st, 2025. It was at approximately 1:30 a.m. at Katovu in Mbogwe, along the Katosi Myenga Road in the Wikwe district. The crash involved a Scania bus, registration number UA 354 AN, belonging to Gateway Bus Company, which was traveling from Kampala to Soroti via the Katosi route. And preliminary findings suggest the crash was caused by a front tire burst, which led the driver of the bus to lose control and of the vehicle. The bus overturned to the right, resulting in the instant death of the driver, while 4 other passengers sustained injuries of varying severity. Police responded promptly to the scene, transporting the injured victims to Nkoko Njeru Health Center and Kaolo Hospital for medical attention. The driver's body was taken to Kaolo Hospital mortuary for a postmortem examination. Vehicle towed to Ngogwe Police Station as investigation commenced. Urge all motorists regular vehicle maintenance checks and strictly adhere to road safety regulations to prevent such tragic incidents. As much as we are looking at the tire burst, but then there could have also been an element of speeding by the bus driver. If at all this person was below the speed limit that is recommended, that is 80 kilometers per hour for the public service vehicles, this would not have happened. Another crash, 1 person died also on the 18th of July 2025. It was at approximately 7:30 p.m. in a fatal crash that occurred at Chinawa near kilometer 1 flyover along the Entebbe Expressway. The crash involved vehicles registration number UBE 160P, a Toyota Hilux single cabin, and UBK 489H, a single truck haul. And according to our preliminary findings, both vehicles were traveling from Busega toll gate towards Entebbe, and as they approached the kilometer 1 flyover, both vehicles were using the outer lane, the left lane, and the driver of the Toyota Hilux, who was identified as Baguma Jole Patrick, reportedly rammed into the rear of the Sinotrack due to excessive speed. Tragically, Baguma Jole Patrick died on the spot as a result of the collision. And this incident highlights the continued need for all road users to observe speed limits and remain vigilant at all times, especially when you are moving on highways and expressways where speeds are relatively higher. We also had another crash where 3 people died, and in a fatal crash on the 17th of July 2025. It was at around 5:20 p.m. at a place known as Tomukama Cell in Kagadi Town Council. It was involving a motor vehicle registration number UG 40000 006, a Toyota Land Cruiser belonging to the Ministry of Labor, and a motorcycle registration number UEV 143H by Judge Boxer. Investigations indicate that the motorcycle rider, who was carrying 2 passengers, was traveling in the opposite direction behind a trailer. While at a corner, he attempted to overtake the trailer and simultaneously branched off the main road towards the Nyangereka village. And unfortunately, the maneuver led to a head-on collision with an oncoming nation vehicle. And as a result of the crash, the motorcycle rider died on the spot, and the 2 passengers later succumbed to their injuries. This incident serves as a reminder of the dangers of overtaking in blind corners or locations where visibility is limited. We thus strongly urge all motorists to exercise maximum caution and avoid risky maneuvers, especially in places like corners, bends, busy or built-up places, and many other places that we have also mentioned here that are very risky every time you are to overtake. Additionally, we call upon all road users to yield the right of way when joining or branching off major roads, to remain vigilant at all times while on the road. What are the interventions that we have done as the Director of Traffic and Road Safety? Last week, a total of 107 trucks were impounded and penalized over the past week for operating without the required emergency warning signs. And today I've carried it with me to show it to you how it looks like. And also, this is a warning, this is an emergency warning sign. And we wish to remind all drivers, particularly those operating goods vehicles or trucks along on the roads, that these emergency warning signs are mandatory safety requirement. These warning signs must be placed behind, in front of the vehicle immediately after a breakdown or an emergency stop, especially on highways and busy roads. Failure to use these emergency warning signs, it poses a serious risk to other road users, especially during the night time or low visibility conditions. And we have recorded several road crashes the past time, resulting from vehicles that break down and without displaying these signs, which endangers the stationary vehicles themselves and other road users on the roads. We therefore urge all motorists, especially the trucks, goods vehicles, they must, or you must, carry these emergency warning signs at all times. Ensure that they are promptly and correctly pressed in case of a breakdown. Ensure that they are also visible from a safe distance, at least 45 meters away from the vehicle, in front and behind. This must be pressed to alert or warn other road users on the road to know that there is a problem or there is something ahead, so that they could speed. We have seen many vehicles running into broken down vehicles, especially on highways, which of course has endangered lives of road users on those particular roads. Let us prioritize road safety and help prevent such avoidable crashes. Remember that compliance is not optional, but it is illegal, it is legal and a life-saving requirement. On the art of sensitization, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety conducted road safety sensitization campaigns targeting border riders and public service vehicle drivers with the aim to promote positive behavioral change among these high-risk categories of road users. The campaigns were conducted in Kampala, which was identified as the most affected area according to the 2024 annual crime report. And this sensitization exercises focused on encouraging adherence to traffic regulations. Also focused on promoting helmet use among the border riders and also seatbelt compliance. I also went ahead to discourage reckless driving behaviors and overloading. These campaigns form part of the Directorate's broader strategy to reduce road crashes and fatalities, particularly among vulnerable road user groups. We thus call upon all border riders and PSV drivers who have been targeted around Kampala to comply and put into practice what we are sensitizing them about. And also, we urge them to become ambassadors of road safety in their communities where they operate from. Remember that road safety is a shared responsibility, and let's work together to save lives. We also thank you, the media, that you have been with us. But if you have not been with us, probably the messages our messages would not have been amplified. So you have helped us to amplify our messages. We thank you for that, and let's continue doing so, because without you, our messages on road safety cannot go or cannot reach far. But because you are with us, these messages have gone far, and probably you are also helping us to save lives. What is going to be done this week? The enforcement on the emergency warning signs continues. So if you know that you are driving a heavy truck on the road and you do not have anything like this, you must have two of these, put in your vehicle, and in case of any breakdown, please pull them out, put one in front of the vehicle, a broken down vehicle, 45 meters ahead in front of you, and 45 meters behind you. Without it, because our traffic officers are on the road to ensure that every goods vehicle has these emergency warning signs. But of course, the law also talks of other, all the vehicles actually. But our emphasis right now is on those vehicles, because they are the ones who normally break down on the highways and then cause problems on the roads. So if you don't have this, please. Then we're also going to enforce on speed on the highways. This speed, not of the cameras, but our usual method that we've been using of the use of speed guns. So we are continuing with our speed guns to enforce on speed, because speed has been the major cause of road crashes on our roads. If you know that you do not have a valid driving license, please don't risk to get onto the road. We are there and we are looking for you. If you know your license is expired, your license is out of class, and you have never got any license, please don't risk to step onto the road. And actually, for those who have never got licenses, for you, we don't have a ticket. We don't have a ticket for you. All we do when we get you is to take you direct to court. So please be in the know and be warned. I will also continue with the sensitizations targeting the groups that we are still that we have been sensitizing for, to promote the behavioral change. Thank you for listening. Mbala Musiza, mwasuze mutya? tubeebaza emirimu gye mukola okulaba nti eggwanga lyaffe liyimiriddewo ate ligenda